Hello, hello, hello. So I'm back with my second lock video, and I have some points that I want to make. I think keep moving about locks for people that are just like me, just sick and tired of doing their hair. So here's my hair. I just took off my lock sock, my dread sock, just so y'all can see my hair. For some of y'all that may miss my first video, I started my locks on May 1st. I started with 2-strand twist. I am 6.5 months locked tomorrow. Um, and I started with long hair. I have 84 to 88 locks in my head. And I wanted medium size locks. I didn't want small. So these are my locks at 6.5 months. So I wanted to start off with what you should wear to bed. You should either wear a silk scarf, a bonnet, anything that'll cover your locks. I ordered this dread sock because it covers my locks completely. The ends are not out. And the scarf kept slipping off my head. I think I got this on sale because it was the red color for $10. They are on IG. It's called Dread Sock. That's how I found them. The second one, let's talk about what you're not to put in your hair. Okay. When starting locks, there are certain things that you should not put in your hair. You cannot use the same products that you used when you was a loose natural. Locks, you have to use light products. I do deep condition, but I use a light conditioner, some rinse out. If you do use a normal deep conditioner, just use a little bit, not a lot, because as your locks start to mature and thicken, all of that thick stuff gets trapped inside the lock and it does not wash out because it's inside of the lock and your locks are so thick or have matured. So I'm eating a cough drop. That's something that you don't want. The products that I use, I showed you before what I use to wash and condition in my first video, so you can go back to that. But in this bottle for my scalp, because I have dermatitis, um, I can't put like oils on my scalp as it'll flake really bad. So I just use aloe vera juice mixed with peppermint essential oil, eucalyptus oil, blue chamomile. That's why it has a blue tint. And it also helps with the itchiness as well. I use this as well. I got this from Damian Walter. This is the olive oil that he uses to hydrate the scalp. I don't put oil on my scalp, so I spray it on my locks. And then I make up my own moisturizer, which consists of bottled water, a little aloe vera juice, my leave-in Innocence leave-in conditioner, what kind of oil? Emu oil, vitamin E oil, and jojoba oil, all mixed into this bottle. And when my locks seem dry, I just spritz it really good. So, squeeze it in, and then I spray this oil on top of it on any oil that I want. I also have this Innocence oil as well. This is expensive though. This for this bottle, I think is like $70, which is to me is not really worth it. It's a good oil though. I said what not to put in your locks. I showed you everything that I put in my locks. But stuff that you don't want to put in your locks is beeswax, heavy gels with alcohol in them. Anything that's thick and heavy, waxes, those things you do not want to put in your locks because it would be a nightmare. And you don't realize it's a nightmare until your locks have matured. And now you looking with all of this buildup and having to do an ACV soak because you got all of that mess in your head and your locks are not feeling right. They feeling heavy. You don't want that. When starting locks, You need to do your research. You need to have pictures of what size, what you're looking for in your locks, um, what size you want your locks, um, how to take care of your locks. Don't believe everything everybody say on these sites or in these groups, because they will give you bad information. And again, when your locks start messing up, you don't know until you're already deep into your journey. And now you got to sit here for a week, either trying to pick these things out or just cut them off. There have been a lot of people that been on 2 and 3 lock journeys because of the fact that, too, I wanted to hit on the foundation of your locks. Part to lock ratio is so important because, again, what you start off with is not what you're going to end up with when starting locks. Your locks are going to change throughout the whole process. So most of the time people don't see what their locks are really going to look like until they're at least a year into their journey. And by then you're looking at if you have parts or locks that are too big that you may be able to get 3 out of, or they're not, they may be thicker than what you really wanted, so I would suggest to go to a professional and make sure you research that person who you're going to, because there are some people who call themselves locticians and they don't do the right thing and have locks falling out your head and build up, and you so early in your journey. So that is the key. Foundation is very, very important to make sure you have the right lock to part ratio, and you don't have all these different sizes and stuff going too small, too big, not what you're looking for. It'd be a bad thing. So yeah, just listen to stuff that makes sense. Don't listen to people who say don't wash your hair for 3 months. That's disgusting. You need to wash your hair. If some of them come out, twist it back up or coil it back up. That's why it's important that if you don't know how to do these things, go see a loctician, especially for the first couple of months to get you going. Then, if you want to decide to do it yourself, it's already started, your foundation is good, it's thriving, then you can go for it yourself. Personally, me, I locked because I got tired of doing my hair and I wasn't doing nothing to it. So I paid to go get my hair done, but my girl is pretty reasonable. I also wash my hair every 3 weeks because I work out, I sweat my scalp, but also too, again, I have really bad dandruff in my scalp. And I need to wash my hair every 3 weeks. So I go every 3 weeks on the dot. Some people wait it out for 4 weeks. I think as you mature, you can push it out more, so like 6 weeks. But I think when you like in your starter lock phases like me, you should have a schedule at least 3 to 4 weeks until they start to mature. And that probably is about a year. I said how often to wash your locks. I would say every 3 to 4 weeks. That'll keep your scalp clean and healthy. All them dry shampoos and stuff, I never believed in that stuff. It is not getting your scalp clean. That's just my opinion. Again, what products to use? Very light products. Nothing heavy, research the types of gels, see how they work in your hair, but don't use any gels with alcohol in it. It's important too to know how you want to start your locks. Again, I started with 2-strand twists. Some people start with coils. A few people start with braids, but I haven't seen too many that start with braids. I've seen a lot of people that started with 2-strand, especially if they had long hair. It's just, a preference of how you want to start your locks. I think with locks, for me, it's a pro and a con to locks, but I do that to 2-strand twists. I'll do that in another video. But I started with 2-strand twists, and I was fine with it because I 2-strand twist my hair all the time. I never had coils in my hair, so I didn't know how that would have worked out. And especially when I washed my hair as well. When I washed for the first time 3 weeks later, the only ones that came out were the tiny ones that was up here in the top. And you've seen they thrived a lot. Except for this one, I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah, they've come a long way. I talked about foundation. And two, some people say that you shouldn't start locks on long hair. You could start locks on any length hair that you want, but from what I read from locticians, you at least need to have 3 inches of hair if your hair is short. But you can start locks on long hair now. I would say for myself, I did start on long hair, but they shrunk up a lot. So hopefully they'll start to drop soon because the shrinkage is real. But I had bad shrinkage when I was a loose natural, so I just thought that maybe they wouldn't shrink so bad after it was already done. But yeah, they shrink a lot. As you can see, a whole lot. Like some of them do come to the top of my shoulder, especially in the back. They come a little bit past. But yeah, the shrinkage is real, even with locks, honey. So yeah, that's about it. I don't want to be on here too long. I just wanted to kind of like give you another vid on what to look for when you start your locks, and just some key tips if you're looking to lock. That's very important because there are a lot of bad advice out there. It's a journey. It's not one to be rushed. Your hair is not going to lock overnight. All of these different methods to rush it. I would say just trust the process, or else locks is just not for you. You're going to have a frizziness. They're not going to be neat all the time. You're going to have puffiness like this, depending on the texture of your hair, where some people may have sealed, perfect looking locks, whatever that is or whatever. So just trust the process. Don't be out here trying to lock your hair quick, spraying sea salt water. Sea salt water is for people like Hispanic people that have really, really curly hair, white people, straight hair, who doesn't have much of a curl pattern, or that's really, 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 really soft. Those are the people who use sea salt water. Me, if I don't have that type of hair. I have soft curly hair, but it's far from Spanish people or white people hair. If I use sea salt on my hair, it would be dry out, probably breaking, and everything else. Do not use that stuff on your hair if you don't have that type of hair. That's just my opinion. So until next time, peace.